Okay, all right, guys. Welcome back again. I had promised to do a second part of that video. I had to jump out that morning because the plumber guy was coming to work at my house, and apologies for that. So let's see how much more I can add to that video. I didn't want the length to go pretty much long. And maybe I'm going to fragment it into a smaller chunk so it can be easy for you guys to probably assimilate and try. I believe you've all got Windows Box. If you need help as to setting up maybe an AD, or I could hook you up to my AD and give you a cloud access where you can go play around. Let me know via the chat if you would want me to do that. That would be pretty much cool. Okay, so going back to where we left off, I had closed this, so more like I'm starting from the scratch again. And let me hope that the PowerShell thing will work today. No, sorry, I mean not today because it didn't work earlier. Uh, Let me see. Uh, that's not giving us a smile. It's fine. We'll fall back to the PowerShell. And I'm not running this as an admin, so I'm just running the PowerShell as a local normal user. So if I done the who am I, you see I'm just the cat user on this box, so I'm not an admin. And so you don't think I'm actually doing this because I'm an admin. No, like I told you, even without an admin privilege, you can do this stuff. It's not limited to only admins. I'm not sure if I can make an adjustment on this, probably to make it bigger. The font to start with. Uh-huh. Let's try this out. Windows preview, then the font. I see I cannot change. Can I? I can't change that font. That's bad. We'll go try this out and see what it's gonna look like. And the width, let me see if I can stretch it. I hope I don't go beyond and make it look really messed up. Just bear with me, guys. Trying to play around here. Maybe put some more heights. Oh, let me go see what this is gonna give me. Oh no. Oh no, this is really bad. Better go. Oh, okay, it crashed. Oh, cool. Yeah, welcome to Windows 10. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like this. Windows 7, sorry. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I think we're pretty much cool with what we have here. Okay, so let me go look for my script. It's right on my desktop, I believe, in the orders folder, AD and num. So we've got our script things happening there. So I'd mentioned the morning when I was in the recorder, I'm going to try to see if I can pass the output to a file. So let's see if that's going to work out. So the first which we ran was the dump all AD users. Now if you look at this script, it's actually PowerShell built around PowerShell, but it's WMI actually. So you can see the get, which is the same let's in PowerShell. You're trying to pull stuff or retrieve stuff from a database or so. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to use the WMI object for Win32 user accounts, where the objects, the variable that we're passing is local accounts, and is equal to force. So what we're saying is we don't want local accounts. We want accounts in the AD domain and select type, so we can see caption, description, details, every bit of enrichment about what we want to grab. We've specified them here, so it's a bunch of stuff. So once again, let's drag this and go put it in PowerShell. Then we'll see if we can pass outputs to a file. We'll copy this. Then let me see where my maybe I go to desktop. What is in here? I'm just gonna go to desktop. Then I'm gonna put it. Let's dump our script here. No, it won't allow me. It's already showing me. It's already running. I think. That's bad. Okay. Okay. Exactly what happened in the morning. I'll stop it. I just need to show you a few things. You can clearly see that it's doing what's I'm not a domain admin. See, I don't need to escalate privilege to do any of this. This by default is how Active Directory is built. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't go and complain to Windows that, come on, why is a normal user dumping the whole users in the Active Directory? You can't do that because it's how it's built. The only thing you can do is to maybe set some restrictions around the use of PowerShell. So you'd have gone to the group policy and maybe tighten up the use of PowerShell, cmd.exe, those WMI, those regsev, and all those scripts. You can lock them down, so prevent the user. Or if you don't want to do that, you can set up login. So anything that this user is doing is being logged, and if it's real time, someone can actually escalate an issue or raise a ticket for what this person is trying to do. Okay, because this person is trying to enumerate all the users. Imagine how that sits in terms of security. He's going to see the way each of the users has been configured, because you see pulling out description, the account status, the password change policy. If I know that the password change is false, maybe password expiration is false, then I know that password is not required. Imagine what I would have done, or if I know even if it's required, but there is no account lock, I could go brute force that, which means I could try a bunch of random passwords to see if I'm able to crack that login. And that's pretty much fun stuff, anyways. So that's for the first one. We got this done. We're going to clear the screen. Let's go look at the second one quickly. So we're the second one now, we've made some modification to the first command. So if you look at what is happening here, we are being specific. We're looking for only accounts without password expiration time. So which means we know that there are some accounts that has been set without a password expiration. The password is just going to be like that for year in, year out, and that's not cool when it comes to security configuration, because it means even if the person is out or the person is not available, anybody can try to try random password, or the person, even the user himself, can use a password forever. And you know what happens with password these days? It's easily leaked. You can go to the dark web, some dark web forum. You see where they're selling your passwords. I won't be shocked to see your password is being sold in the dark web forum. One way to defeat most of these password attacks is actually the multi-factor, but that won't stop us from doing what we're doing anyways, because we're actually we're looking around. So even if a multi-factor won't stop this from happening, please do note that. So let's try the second one. Let's see if we can dump only the users who do not have an expiration uh, 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 um, for the password sets. It looks like the first one, but we added a few more query strings. So we can see local account equals false, and the variable password expires equals false. So we're looking for the passwords that do not expire. Then we can select all the other caption, description, and everything else as we did in the first one. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to put this here. So I get a problem. The term gets WMI object is not recognized. Oh, so I think I messed up that command. Let me go look at it. Yeah, I shouldn't put that dash in there. That's bad. Sorry. So I'm going to copy that again and clear this and try that again. Okay, this time around it's running. So let's see what it throws at us. Let's see how many users have bad configuration when it comes to password expire. Oh, quite a few. Wow. Oh, admin. So admin user here has password set not to expire. Okay, it's a built-in account for administering the computer domain. So this is actually a domain admin. That's a fun account to play around with or to look out for. So you can see some of the bad configurations. Account lockout false. This one is like deadly because local account, sorry, false. So this is not a local account. This is actually a domain account. Lockout false still. Account lockout is false. So this person is more like a demigod or a small god in the environment. Imagine there's no account lockout, so I can brute force this admin until I get the password. God knows how long I want to be doing that for. If there's no monitoring in place, I'm doing it for as long as I can. And if the password is a cheap one, maybe you saw my post. If you follow my WhatsApp, you see I posted something around passwords and how soon it is to crack your password. You can understand if this person's password is just numbers, seconds, crack it, or maybe just small letters, maybe maximum 10 minutes, crack it or so. Anyways, that's for that. There's also another account we're seeing guests here, and guests is also in the domain. That's terrible. This one is really bad. Okay. Disabled. Oh, okay, this is disabled. Fine, at least the account is disabled, so you can't do nothing with it. This one is enabled, so you see disabled is false. Disabled is false, meaning it's enabled, but this one disabled is true, so it's disabled. I'm going to stop this because it's trying to pull out some more. I don't want to wait for that stuff. You see, it's going to throw. There's a lot of them, anyways. I just stopped it. Just want to show you what the script is doing. If you want me to maybe drop these scripts for you guys to look at, it will be fun. I will be able to do that for you guys. So although you have to keep it really coded because this is what I used to do my job, more like this is what pays when I'm actually in doing some fun stuff around Active Directory. So you have to keep it coded. Yeah, keep it coded. But anyways, let's see how that works. Now the next one is, see, we're doing now the first one. We had played around with WMI, Windows Management Instrumentation. So now we're moving on to LDAP. So local directory, we're looking at LDAP. LDAP is actually a wonderful kind of like protocol in Windows. So we can use this to retrieve information about the AD structure, almost undetectable. Look at that, almost undetectable. What it means is that this is running like a native Windows stuff, so which means it doesn't even raise flag. It is easy to construct. So I've built some string which we're going to run today. Set a filter, computer object. So we're looking for this. We're looking for object class computers, computers only. The root organization unit. The domain is actually cptsecure.org. Then the scope sub 3 either base one level. Let's hope this works here. I think I did not make some modification to suit my particular server that I configured, but let me see. Is anything there that is not set properly? Such as such roots, that pretty much fine. Entry, LDAP roots, OU, the filters. Okay, so I hope this will run in PowerShell, but let's see. I'll take this first two half of it. Oh, come on, just copy. Without the results, let me see if it's going to throw me an error. I'm going to clear this. I'm going to paste this here. Okay, as expected. Throw me an error. Such scope cannot convert null to the type of system directory service. Okay, so let me take down to the results. See if you can throw the result at me. I usually run this in PowerShell.ise, not the exe, because I know that I run it in phases. They still throw that error at me. So let me see. It's a whole bunch of command up to this point. So let me just grab everything. I knew I'd made some modifications, but I didn't test that out. But just wait. Let's take it all the way down there and see. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to look for certain objects within that AD domain. So if you follow suit, you see we're looking for object class computers, filtering for computers actually specifically. Then if you go all the way down, you're filtering for scope, select exclude property. Then yeah, great. So this is where we define each as seeing results. We're looking for logon accounts, object directory. We're looking for all this bunch of stuff: name, bad password, bad last sets, service principal name. We're trying to look for all this. Let's see if that's going to give us a smile this time. I think it's pulling, but I see this exception right in search scope. cannot convert null to the type system directory service. And so let me go look at that. Maybe I need to, where's the system directory service? System directory service directory entry, new objects, system directory service. New objects. Search the root for this LDAP roots OU. So did I configure LDAP on that server? I think I did not. Exception calling find all with 0 argument, unknown error. Give me a second. Let me go look for something in here. Where's that? Things in download. Oh no, that's my photo. That's me. Sorry. I think is documents. It's not there. Desktop. So probably I'd move those stuff to my external drive because I made some modifications on the scripts, and the last engagement I was on, I used it, made some modifications, but I didn't update this one I have here. So this one I have here is not updated. Yeah, that's one thing with scripts. You see, if it was a tool, I could just run the tool and wait for results. But when you have to run scripts, most times you have to ensure that the script is working in the environment. It might be that there might just be a typo, and I'm a little bit heady. I cannot bend my neck and look at that now because I'm pretty much tired. You can hear that from my voice. um, let me see. Okay. So I'm going to pass this one because the modified version of that script is not on this, is on my drive. So I don't have a drive here, so I'm going to pass this one. Maybe I'll just update it and pass it on to you guys. So I'm going to get out of this. I'll pass this one. Okay, so that's for LDAP. The next, we still have some LDAP. Okay, let's try this one. Let's see if this one will give us a smile. So we're looking for administrators here. Still the same domain, the same OU. This is going to do more like what this first one was doing, but now we're specific. We're not looking for all the users. We've defined an object, which is what we want. So we just want an object class user, object name administrator. We're filtering for that. So let's see what this gives us. Most likely to give us all the admins or the admin accounts within the domain. If I didn't check this one also, if it runs, there's also some problems with the script. Search scope cannot convert null to type system. So I've got the same problem. So I think it's the LDAP query. It's the LDAP on Windows 7 PowerShell due to invalid enumeration value. Specify one of the following enumeration values and try again. Okay, possible enumeration values are base, one level, sub 3. Didn't I do that there? I thought I did. New object directory service directory searcher directory entry. Oh yes. I think I see the problem. Yeah, specifying the search scope. I need to specify either I'm looking for base or one level or sub 3, the overall sub 3. So then also search scope. Yeah, I have to get the modified version of this. So I'm going to clear this and pass this as well. Then let's see this one. Do I have that? I might have the same problem here. Obviously, yes. This one was actually going to be looking for the user, admin, and also specific for in IT department. So I'll pass this one also. I think I've got some problems with this one also. I had made some changes the last time I used it, but I guess I'll pass this one. It won't run also. It's giving me that string problem, but it's fine. Let's see, I still have some more. Samar. Now this one is pretty much easy. Just looking at net domain admin. If there's Samar protocol running, this should just throw me out the domain admin without stress. This one is actually funny. See, for performing operations in AD, built-in tools available on every workstation. It's got the .NET command. You can run this actually. So use this for recon. Let's see. It gave me the local. So let's see the term example. Oh. Yeah, the term example is not recognized. Net domain admin domain. Oh, don't mind me. cpt secure.org. That was my fault. The syntax of the command is, the option is unknown. Group. Domain. That's the domain. Group. Add. Delete. So one more time. Net group. Domain administrator. Let me see that. Oh, so should I remove the .org? Something is wrong. Let me go back to that. Net. Oh, yeah. Just want this. Copy this. Okay, so pretty much fine. The requests will be parsed at a domain controller for domain. So it gave me, these are all the admins in the domain. So I think I had made a mistake somewhere around it. So administrator, which is the admin account logged into the box as the admin user. If I go here, you see that. Oh no, sorry. That is this admin user. So that one is seen. There's also this user is an admin. Joseph is an admin. John is an admin. Kurt is also an admin. Wow. Sophia is an admin. So these are all the admins we have in the domain, just these ones. I think there are about 6 of them. Great. So that executed fine. Some low level enumeration to find the admin. We can also use the NL test to do some recon. Basic. Just want to see this. It most likely works better if you're in a forest, but I just have only this one DC in the domain, so more or less it's just this one. So that's the one on the server. It's no other one. There's no sites, no replication happening. So more or less it's just this one. That's why it's flagging only that one. But if I was in a forest with multiple domains, it will show me all the domains. Then there's AD Explorer, but this you have to download and execute it. We're not doing that today. Then there's the normal AD Recon PowerShell. We're using the GP results /arrow to check for permissions and policy configuration. That should fly pretty much fine, but it's going to take a while because it's going to dump quite a lot. So I may not be patient to look at that. So if you look at this, what we just did was, we just with this simple command, we're trying to look at the group policy object configuration. We're seeing the OS configuration member workstation. We're seeing the OS version. We're seeing quite a lot of other stuffs. We can see the content name, the Kates, that's the person logged in there, the OU, the OU's people, security people, domain is cptsecure.org. Then we can as well see the domain type is a Windows 2000. Then this is the domain. Then going a little bit down, we can see the user and all the security group that this user belongs to. So it's a domain user, belongs to everyone, built-in user. From this we can look and see if this user has got certain privileges that are irrelevant to do their day-to-day job. Then we can try to do a proper configuration. We can see this user has got an admin privilege. I don't think he needs that. It belongs to also, there's another admin group here for JU company. I don't think they need that as well. And I can try to clean. And most times, most of these permissions are more like passed on. Imagine the user that has been moving around an organization for 10 years, been worked on in several departments. They give them permissions and they don't strip them off. By the time the user is almost 10 years, it's almost a demigod because it has, mostly for admin, it's got all the permissions in all the in all the groups, and that's pretty much terrible and scary. So that's for that. I'm just trying to wrap up because I have to do something. It's at 8 o'clock. We could also do the NL tests. I think we ran that command up already. We could get the subnet list if there's a subnets. I'm not going to do that one. We could get the domain computers just by running this. Let's see if I can run this one. If they are domain computers. Oh, great. So all these are computers within the domain just by executing this. It might seem pretty easy, but you need to know PowerShell to be able to do stuff like this. That's why we strictly warn that PowerShell must be watched, because it's like power, like the name sounds. PowerShell is a power. It's more like what you get in with the root terminal in Linux. You can do pretty much anything. Yeah, kind of like. So I'm dumping all the domain computers, and I could maybe query further to find which of them is actually on. Maybe query further to find out who is logged in on this computer. I could get all the attributed associated with the specific computer. Now I can specify. Now that I've seen the computers, I can choose one of them and put that in here and get all the specific configurations like I told you that. So I'm not going to do that today. We could do some MySQL stuff. If there's any computers with particular service principal name, MySQL. Maybe there are some. I want to find out which of them are running SQL, or which of them are the SQL server, or maybe other database server, or maybe HTTP server. I could plug that in this query string. See SQL here. Could be HTTP, could be anything else, maybe load balancer, just to play around and find which of these computers act as this job role or function in the AD domain. I could also find privilege accounts using admin account flag. So I can look for all the accounts with admin account flag sets. This one is pretty much easy. You can see admin account flag is 1. So if that flag is on, I could use that flag and let me clear this and run this one and see. Okay, so they don't seem to be any with admin account flag sets. Oh, that's pretty much cool. So I think I've done a good job there. So let's move on. I could get accounts that they can be target for cracking passwords. So this will help me find accounts that actually have got wrong password configuration. So let's look at the scripts. ADSI searches. We're looking for object class users, primary group ID 513, so more like a suite form of account users, principal name, anything, find all. We're looking down to the service principal name, property, SPN, set the name, the path, and let's see if this will run for us. Okay, great. So I think it did not execute completely for each name property. It didn't execute completely. That's why I would pretty much prefer doing this with the PowerShell.is here. I'm not sure why it didn't run here. I prefer using this because it's easy for me to debug the scripts. Most of the scripts I had not used in a while, so probably because I'm on Windows 7, I have to do some debugging. Okay, so lastly, before I stop this video, I'm going to use a tool called Pincastle to do almost everything I've done. That's what we call automation. Practically easy without having to go through all this bunch of stress that I'm actually doing here. So I think, where is that thing? CD purple sharp. Let's go look for CD order stuff. I think Pincastle is here. CD Pincastle, and where is it? Pincastle.exe. So I'm just going to run pincastle.esc. Let me see. Is what is it called? Pincastle.esc. Okay. So copy that and dump it in there and run that. Great. So it's going to run. It's supposed to do everything which are done with the scripts. Now, if they allow an executable like this to run, you can use this. But if they don't, you see, you can do nothing. So all you have to fall back to is running the scripts via the PowerShell. So that's why you need to learn that. Okay, great. It's running now. I could do a health check score for the risk of all domain, or I could do maybe an aggregate multiple reports, or I could build a map of all the interconnected domains. I only have one domain here. Perform specific security check. So let's say we try the scanner for today. So we could do maybe all check. That would dump a bunch of stuff for us. We could go for maybe specific checking checking virus or computer version, export users, or local admin only, or maybe the labs BitLocker, or maybe do some further vulnerability scan. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to maybe advanced. I could change protocol. I could generate a report, all the roles applied by Pincastle. That would do everything that is a role in Pincastle. What I'm going to use today is, let me go back. I think I'm going to use aggregate multiple. Let me do the health check. Great. I'm running a health check. So I'm going to see, it might take a while or it might be pretty much fast. But let's see how fast it's going to run a health check on the AD domain. It's going to show you all the terrible configuration that actually is in that AD domain. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at my time. I think I'm almost out of time. I need to go for prayers. So let's quickly wait for this to finish up. Yeah, starting on the default domain. Let me take some water. So you can see it's performing analysis on the cptsecure.org. Might take a while gathering data, so it's flying. Collecting objects, going to collect every bit of objects. So it'll give us a nice report, like that looks pretty much cool. Yeah, for automation. So it's done. So let's go look at what it gave us as a dump. If I go in the Pincastle folder, I will see this. It gave me this. That's my domain. It gave me this. It also gave me this. So let's say we start with this. Let's see what is there. That will open up in the browser. Great. That's a health check. Active Directory. So it gave me a high level stuff. So indicators. I can see domain risk level 100 out of 100. That's so bad. The domain is crap. So it means it's really, really bad. The risk level is pretty much 100 out of 100. So it will take you down to fine grain details. Each of these I could click on to show me the score, the roles, network topology. I could go down looking at more details. Obsolete OS. See, it found that in that domain there's Windows 7 running. That's like out of support. Nobody should be using that. Authentication protocol. You see, SMB version 1 is running. That's bad. Now, if I have to do all this manually, it's like a headache. It's going to take a while before I can find all this. But that's why automation is sweet. A tool like this just did all that like this, and it's like just like that. So provisioning is showing me that if there's any bad admin config. Replication, there's no replication here. Maybe account takeover. Great. So it's showing me privilege account, bad configuration, number of admins not in protected. Wow. 24 admins not protected. That's really bad. Really, really bad. Admin control, bad config. Access control, check, bad. Control paths, bad. Yes, you can see how easy it is to just I've done it like the whole audit just like that. I could look at this even down to the maturity level of the domain. It gives me an hint, and then it starts giving me details. I could break all this down to look at the details. It's more like running a vulnerability scan in an AD domain. It's going to show you everything that there is, every bit of thing that there is, to even give you a description, a technical explanation, an advice on how to probably fix the problem. That's why I love this. If it's been allowed to run, they're non-admin also with their bad config. You can look in all that. More than 30% of admins are inactive. That's not good. So we have to strip off all these admin rights from them. Then it gives me an idea of the trust. Currently, there's no trust because it's just this domain controller in the domain. There are no other server, AD servers. Anomaly analysis. So they are bad role configuration. It gave me an idea of all of them. This is a recent one, Spooler, vulnerability in that stuff. It gave me a hint on that. Policy domain controller does not collect key events. See, no logging is being done. The number of DC is too small to provide redundancy, so it's just one domain, no redundancy. Bad disaster recovery plan. Partial audit configuration is not fully enabled, so nobody's looking at partial. That's what it's telling you. No GPO has been found. No group policy objects. I did not set. You see, the last time I did LLMNR stuff, so which means LLMNR is possible on this server. I can, because NetBIOS is running, I could pass the hash and do some of the stuff which I did then in the previous video. That's what it's telling me here. See, it just gives me everything I need to know. No GPU has been found which implement net cases, so no prevention around that. The password policy, minimum password length is greater than or equal to 20. So no password policy for service account. Oh, that's really bad. Then other domain information, recycle being enabled false. User information, it breaks down all the users. See, number of user account, there are 2,499. Then it gives me details on each of those users. I could now go down low level into each of these details to see what I need to do there to fix the problem. But not in that today. I'm just showing you that you can automate all I've been doing. Okay, then further more details. Computers and accounts 103. Operating system gave me high level Windows 10, Windows Server, Windows 7, Windows 8. Exactly what I have actually. See, automation is fun. So to tell me the ones that are obsolete like Windows 7, I need to trash that thing out and take it off my environment. Then the domain controller gives me details about the domain controller. The uptime is been up for 4 days. Yeah, pretty much new. The owner tells me that. Also gives me the protocols running. I can see SMB. It's a problem with that. Remote spooler is a problem with that. FSMO role gives me all that as well. Schema. Then admin groups, all the kinds of admin. It gives me everything. See, with a tool like this, you don't have to stress, because imagine if you're an attacker that is already in the environment and you execute a tool like this. It gives you an idea of everything in the domain, and trust me, some AV will not flag this executable because it's actually signed. It's signed. So some other further details that are of importance. Well, I could go on and on. Trust me, it's a lot. It's a lot. DNS admin, certificate publisher, certificate operators, backup operators. It gives me a breakdown. I can go into details and look at what it is. Who are these users with all these privileges? Do they really need it for their job role? If they don't, now this is the quick way to fix some problems when we talk about asset classification, asset management, users' rights and policies, controlling users. This is what we're basically looking at, how the domain has been configured. Then we can look out for misconfiguration and fix problems. Okay, so I'm going to call it quit tonight here because I'm pretty much tired. And next, maybe I'll be showing you guys how to use Bloodhound and draw a 3D map of this whole domain and do some funny stuff with that. or maybe we just start with a web application penetration test straight up. That would be cool. Okay, thanks for your patience, and I'm gonna sign out here. And once again, thanks for your patience. And okay, bye bye.